Hello and welcome back to the UK National Championship 2017. I'm here with Matt Bell.
Hey Luke, how are you doing today?
It's day 2.
Day 2, Manchester.
Yeah, we've got another 8 rounds to go. We're still in this glorious aircraft hangar.
Yeah, still a lot of great games to happen yet today.
Mm-hmm.
Many people striving for those World Championship points to see who would be the UK representative. I don't think there's any one definitive front runner.
No.
Unlike when you look at somewhere like Germany that has two titans going head to head in Joshua Schmidt and Alpay Engen, or Billy Brake in the US and some of the other players. Like there's a whole lot going on, but all these players in the UK are striving for those points.
Yeah, it's still really close up at the top.
Unfortunately, I don't think Tom Rose is going to make it. He had a really rough start to yesterday.
Yeah, whereas actually I heard that Jawad was just rising back up the ranks. He started out really bad, and I think he's on the bubble, but he's been doing nothing but winning, so...
That's the best way to go. That's the way to look at it, isn't it? You lose your first 2 rounds,
Yeah.
and we're going to keep playing. I'm going to have the easy matches. It was going to be easier. I don't want to say easy, because you say, oh, I'm going to have easy matches, and you face someone like Marcello, and you're like, oh, wait, why are you here? And he's just like, just because. That happens.
Yeah, exactly. So let's take a look at the day 1 deck breakdown again.
That's so we can refresh our memories of what we've been seeing this weekend.
Yeah. So, yeah, we saw this yesterday, obviously. Zodiac up at the top. It's not really surprising, as we said yesterday.
I'm actually surprised by the proportion of how much more pure Zodiac, as it were, as it was compared to the True Draco variants, or even just True Dracos on their own.
Yeah.
104 entered the event, and that's a significant portion of people throwing their lot in with just a Zodiac engine and as many hand traps as you can possibly cram into a single deck. But it's also, what's interesting is that we could have actually shrunk this list down and just included all the variants into one, and it's almost as big. In fact, it would be bigger than the other decks if you combined up anything that said Zodiac into the Zodiac column at this point.
Yeah, same with the True Dracos. I'm sure that we could combine those into quite a... Well, I think that would even be bigger than the Zodiac one if you added them together, but also added the True Draco ones. Anyway, so that's it for day 1. We're going to come back to the deck breakdown a little later on when we get to the top cut.
Yeah, we'll see what's been successful, so you guys can take a look and see at the end of this format. As we know, a brand new format starts tomorrow, where we were at the end of this one if you want to make decisions going into the WCQ, what worked here and what didn't work.
Yeah, exactly. But for now, let's take a look at our feature match today.
Yes, our feature match. We have Finn Bakewell, who went to the World Championships in Orlando last year to represent the United Kingdom, playing Masterpiece Zodiac, versus Daniel Mills, who's just playing the pure Zodiac with a staggering 12 hand traps in his main deck.
That's over a quarter of his deck.
Yeah, I mean, but as we've seen, like, a single card can make the entire zoo hand. Just a single Rappeteer, a Far Formation Tenki, Dryden, there we go. The rest of his hand could be hand traps and he'd still make a field and then stop his opponent. Well, okay. As it turns out, Finn has the Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit. Our hands should be just getting loaded in right now, and we'll be able to take a look at those and see what we were starting with.
This is Finn's hand.
Oh, Finn's hand is Dragunic Diagram, the Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit we just saw, Speedroid Takumborg, another Diagram, and the Speedroid Terratop. So he did draw the Terratop and the Takumborg, but that's still pretty strong on its own. And he's got the Diagram as well.
Yeah, and then for Dan.
Daniel's hand, Fusion Substitute, Zodiac Rapier Retaliating Sea, so he'll be able to shut down the Fusion Substitute combo. Lunalight Black Sheep and a Kaiju, so very good against Finn's Masterpiece if he tries to deploy one of those early on. And here comes Finn's Speedroid Terratop, so strong, and if you're wondering why it went to 1, please just watch some of our other feature matches this weekend. And you know what, just go watch any YCS since
its release.
Since its release, and then, you really ask yourselves if you're a bit bitter about that, why?
Yeah, I mean, so yeah, Finn. We were talking to Finn, and he was super happy about the Finn Unlimited list because he gets to play a Pendulum deck.
Oh, he's
at the WCQ.
Really looking forward to the Magician Pendulum Evolution set.
Yeah.
That's going to be really interesting to see if that makes such a huge impact. Because we know how strong the Pendulum mechanic is in its current form before the Link Summoning. It can do so much. Astrograph Sorcerer is just such a ridiculous card.
Yeah.
And Oh yeah, maybe it gets there, but you've got to go for a format of Unending Nightmares, Cosmic Cyclones, Masterpiece,
Yeah.
Trident. So, but we'll talk about that a lot more in 2 weeks when we get to WCQ.
Well, I just wanted to mention it because I know that Finn's super excited for it.
Yeah, and right now he seems super excited to be just going completely unopposed with his combo here. When he
Yeah.
goes for Fusion Sub, that's probably when Dan's going to throw down his Retaliating C. I
Yeah.
believe that's the only time he
It's the
can
only time-
anyway.
yeah, it's the only time
Yeah,
he
okay,
can.
so that was kind of a redundant statement. Yeah, here we go. Here, hold this. And that'll be monster number 5.
Now, Retaliating C's.
Oh, it's to your side of the
Yeah,
field.
it comes to
Sorry,
your side
my
of it.
mistake. Let's just say used to all the other ones. Oh, and it switches up the Max C, of course, when it's destroyed as well.
Yeah. So, but Retaliating C suddenly Macrocosmos. So, yeah, both of those Exceed monsters are going to go to the grave.
And same with the
Sub as well.
Fusion Sub, so there's going to be no additional card economy.
Yeah. This is where Jared's amazing tech of being able to throw down instant fusion and go get invoked Rajin would be reasonably useful.
Yeah.
How many subs is he playing actually?
We're talking about
Just one, yeah. just
Yeah,
one.
it seems to become pretty standard to go to 1. I mean, Daniel is playing the double fusion substitute combo.
Mm. So Finn's got to, he was on autopilot up until that retaliating, so you could really tell, you could absolutely tell he was just combo. Oh, something stopped me doing what I wanted to do.
Okay, let me rethink this. No, because this is actually some of the real test of player skills is when you face a situation like this, when your opponent knows when to break your combo apart, and you've got to think around how you're going to play out the rest of your hand. Finn has to upgrade one of his monsters into a Trident. I guess he's trying to figure out what's the best way of not losing monsters to being banished from the Retaliating Sea.
Yeah.
And then even Finn's next turn is going to be hindered by Maxi. I believe was popularized many years ago by Billy Break, actually.
Maxine.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes, it was.
When everybody said, "Okay, we're not going to pay attention to this card," and he was like, "Wow, I'm going to play 3 of these," and absolutely steamrolled 2 YCSs in a row.
Yeah.
Now we gave him a card to search for it. That man's unstoppable. Well, until he meets a Joshua Smith, who I believe he's sitting down in a regionals in Seattle. Joshua actually went over there this weekend to get some additional World Championship points, and he sat against Billy Break in one of the rounds.
Last night. Last night for us.
Oh yeah, of course, time zones, they're a thing.
Yeah. No, they're not. They're not sitting on right now. They're asleep.
They were playing. I just thought.
I wonder who won.
I'm sure we'll find out.
There's no statistic behind that. I can't even say who might have won more one than the other. They currently won one.
Toss a coin.
Yeah. They currently won one.
I think as much as we're in the UK right now, I strongly believe in the TCG. Those are the 2 very best players out there.
Well,
Like if you'd have asked me who you would want to win, who you expect to win this weekend, I would have said it's Billy here because I would have bet on him.
yeah.
The 2 of them in the same format meeting up in the finals.
I don't think that's ever happened. Back-to-back YCSs, 2 exact same people in the finals.
It's actually travelled from a different continent as well.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just they've been on fire this season, and they're both rightly so, sitting very high on the World Championship points. So there's a good chance you may see a World Championship final of Joshua versus Billy again.
That would be pretty epic
Yeah.
if that was.
I don't want to count Japan out. You've got Sensuke Hiyama, current reigning world champion, 2 times world champion, right? 4th time appearance on the World Championship circuit. And then we're, of course, going to be sending the rest of the best and greatest from France. We've already talked about Germany, France, UK, Italy as well. Like Marcello, for example, I wouldn't want to say he doesn't have it. He's not in for a chance. Okay, now Finn's going to be going for his terraforming into his True Draco engine at this point.
Yeah, so that's going to put some work in now.
Dan still has that Max C from last turn, so I guess Finn, he could quite comfortably set up a Masterpiece if he already has one, because he's using normal summons, he can play around the Max C.
Yeah, interesting. Let's see what he decides to go for here. So yeah, that retaliating C may not look like it did all that much, Oh, he did have Masterpiece.
There you go.
So it may not have looked like it did all that much.
He'll sweep your back row, which is just a fusion sub. And that's the nightmare field that people are having to face down now. When you've got a Dryden and a Masterpiece, your primary out is a Kaiju. I believe Dan Mills was holding the Kaiju from turn 1.
Yeah, he's got a...
Yeah, hold my Garmacell.
So.
But the Dryden is still there to disrupt. Dan's currently only holding a Fusion Substitute and a Max C, so we know he's not going... Well, if Finn takes this out, then Dan has nothing else to do this turn.
I think he calls it a day.
Yeah, he's just he could read the writing on the wall as it was. So you see actually Finn there just making sure people know he played at the World Championships while he's using his sleeves that we issued. Yeah, well, that's the Zodiac deck. I find in the Pure Zoo seems to struggle with Masterpiece. You know, if it doesn't have the Kaiju, it's just really awkward to deal with. Most people are dropping down to 1 Whiptail now, so it's not like you're going to get the double or triple Whiptail over it. And even attacking it in battle, if the opponent uses the trap and a monster to summon it, you get the battle immunity from having the field spell up and additional attack points as well. Masterpiece causes a lot of problems, which is why I'm actually surprised more people decided to go with Pure Zoo than actually taking this ridiculously powerful monster. But then I'm just as surprised that someone played S0 and, despite knowingly making misplays, just gleefully goes ahead and wins the game because he found something that nobody else discovered this format.
Yeah.
Or at least nobody took seriously this format.
Super interesting. People in chat saying that Finn looks nervous, but Finn's kind of like that. That's just his demeanor. He's I don't know, skittish probably isn't the right word, but he's just kind of free flowing. He doesn't, he doesn't. It's kind of hard to explain.
Yeah, he's a really nice guy. I had a chance to talk to him a bit yesterday, and sorting out the flights for him for the World Championships.
Yeah.
Last year, he's a almost nice guy. Even during the awards ceremony, I think he just kind of walked out at the wrong moment or something.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh, just Finn.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of weird, but there's certain players like that where you think they look like they're really nervous when that's just what Finn's kind of like. That's just what he does. Yeah. He's kind of like that all the time.
Very strong player. I mean, top 4, making the top 4 of a WCQ is ridiculously hard. I'm not gonna lie. The best players for Europe show up to that. All the Road Warriors that you see at every YCS, the names that I've already mentioned, the ones that I haven't, like Jake Quincy, or we've already talked about Marcello. We've got other World Championship players, Wigan Heights. There's a whole bunch of people that go to these WCQs with the intent of making it onto the World Championships.
Yeah, and he was able to make it last year.
And yeah, he climbed all the way through the ranks, through all the named players that you guys are familiar with, and he got there. How did he do at the World Championships, by the way?
I think he didn't do all that great from what I remember. It's weird, the World Championships, because you literally have every single best player from around the world. Yeah. And even winning a few games among the best players in the world is pretty good.
Yeah, well, the thing is I don't want to, even when somebody finishes the World Championships with a low result, you can't really count that against them. I mean, to Bodan's credit, he had a really rough weekend, and then he went on to win YCS Toronto the very next week. He went, nah, it's not going to face me. I've had enough of this. Goes straight up to Toronto, wins the YCS.
Yeah.
The players that actually make it to the World Championships are phenomenally strong.
Yeah.
We should be getting the opening hands just sent through to us right now.
Wow, is that 5 hand traps?
Oh my! That's this is Finn's hand?
No, that's
Dan's hand. Oh my! He's holding 3 Ash and Joyous Springs, which you can play once per turn. 1 Ghost Ogre, Snow Rabbit, and a Ghost Reaper and Winter Cherries. Oh, that's actually pretty interesting. He might be able to break apart Finn's turn when he summons the Tomborg.
Well, he's already Ash Blossomed the Terratop.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, Dan looking to pretend that his hand is way better than it is. The fact that he set a monster in this format should be a massive signal to Finn that Dan is holding way too many hand traps.
Wow, okay, this is kind of weird.
But look at Finn, he's got True Draco Heritage Diagram in his hand. Dan is going to just get blown out by a complete hand of bricks. But then he's playing 12 hand traps, so this is something he must be prepared to happen.
Well, it's going to happen once or twice, yeah. Finn just has to summon Masterpiece and start hitting stuff.
But now he knows that the Ghost Ogre's once per turn, the Joyous Ash Blossom is... Yeah, at this point, yeah, I'm going to take away all your Tridents. And now Finn's just going to probably ride the Masterpiece to victory. Unless Dan top decks something amazing. Which he could just, rip the Terratop, and then be making plays, but then he's got to play through the Masterpiece, which is most likely going to have Battle and Spell and Monster immunity.
Yeah. Super interesting, the way that you get to look at your opponent's extra deck, and you get to banish all the copies of the card.
Yeah, you get the full information, and that's so powerful. It's anybody who thinks that the information in this game isn't the true power is actually kidding themselves. Simply knowing how your opponent can respond will let you play out just a different sequence that will let you eventually resolve something that your opponent has got to do. Just,
especially in formats like this.
Yeah, when you've got so many disruptive cards that you can just set up in a multiple number of different ways. Any Zodiac monster is a search. It's a disruptive removal. It's an extender to your combo.
Yeah.
That's why hand traps are just kind of you're kind of making the best of a worse situation.
Yeah.
When you're playing hand traps this format, but you can't afford not to play them.
No. So Dan's hand is now Ash Blossom, and that's probably a set Ash. Actually, it's a set Ash Blossom as well.
And
that's crazy.
There's no way Finn is going to for a second think that it's anything relevant.
No.
He might, Finn might think it's a Ram at very worst, but then if it was a Ram,
sure
why wouldn't he have normal summoned it and then done any of the other things I just said?
Yeah.
So yeah, you make the sensible read that he's got to be setting one of his hand traps.
Yeah. Is he checking out? He used one too many materials there. Oh, did he? No, he didn't.
No, he used Ram, upgraded it, and then upgraded it.
Yeah, it just seems weird to have Chak and I with an extra material on it.
Ah, I see. Well, he's got the Ram diagram, so he can just...
Ram diagram. That even rhymes.
Ram diagram. Masterpiece.
Is he going to be able to summon Masterpieces then?
Yeah, he's got the True Draco Heritage in his hand as well, so he gets the
there
extra
we go.
normal summon. Because what else could this deck need? What else could this deck need? Oh, I know, additional normal summons.
Yeah. I feel like, what can Dan draw here to... Oh,
He's
I guess...
got two continuous...
he can draw almost... Well, no, because you've got Masterpiece.
Finn's got like two continuous... He's going to have two continuous spells, so he can take out the face-down card, punt in a ton of damage, then his turn still have the disruption in Dan's turn.
Yeah.
He put that down so hard, I almost think I helped the flicking of the card from here. Heard the flicking of the card from here, like... Yeah, boom.
So, Heritage.
Did he say he's activating that? Because he'd have to destroy his own field spell if he did. No, that's ridiculous. He wouldn't have done that.
No.
Spell and monster immunity. And Finn has the Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit in his opening hand as well. Oh, you drew all three of those.
That's complete reveal now. Who knows?
That's a terrible shame. No, so there's one card in Dan's hand that Finn doesn't know.
Yeah, but he sees 4 hand traps in the graveyard.
Yeah,
the 5th has got to be something.
The 5th isn't a Zodiac monster, or he would have played it.
Yeah.
And Finn's holding the Ghost Ogre and the removal.
He drew another hand trap.
Oh wow! That's that's a 7 deuce right there. That is the worst possible hand you could draw against a deck that just has so many ways of creating the pressure and playing around that. So that was an absolute steamroll for well, Dan got steamrolled there because his deck just didn't show up.
Yeah, that is pretty unbelievable. That's just crazy. How can? Wow. Okay. I guess he said to himself this is going to happen at least once, and
Yeah,
this
that's
just happened to be the round.
That's the contract he signed when he wrote his deck list, and it was 12 hand traps in the main. Like sometimes it's just not. You're going to draw just that hand of hand traps, or you're going to draw way too many. But there was a lot of plays that he could have had that he probably thought would have made his hand actually playable, like drawing Far Formation, Barrage, any Zodiac monster. But Finn did actually have the Ghost Ogre that he didn't even need to play there, and he secured the Masterpiece as well.
Yeah, with the correct immunities and everything. Wow. Even through 3 hand traps.
Yeah, he
Finn
was
was able to play.
still played his turn. That's just the pure power of this hybrid style deck when he can deploy multiple threats.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. Right, I think we should get Finn in here. And
Absolutely, we should get Finn in here. Let's
Yeah.
see how he's feeling going into round 9 with a. What's his record right now? Do we?
I think it's X1. I think it's X1. Either X1 or X2. But we can ask.
Either way, he's on the road to top cutting this event.
Yeah, right. Don't go anywhere, guys. We're going to be back with our feature match winner, Finn Bakewell.